Hi lovely, I'm back with another video. Hope you guys are doing amazing in mind, body, and spirit. Today I'm going to be talking about how important it is to forgive ourselves and others for ourselves, right? So basically I'm going to give you a rundown of things that I've experienced because again, I am not a professional, so I merely come on here to share my experiences, and I try to shed light on wisdom that I've kind of gathered on my own, right? So I'm sure we've all been in toxic relationships, right? When we're in it, it's una cosa, it's one thing, right? But once we look back on it, we're like, what were we thinking, tolerating so much, or what have you, right? So basically, the relationship I want to talk about has to do with um, being verbally abused, right? Being broken down, and how much it takes a toll on our mental health, right? And like I said, when we're living it, we don't think about it like that. We're like, oh, well, they love us. They're trying to do what they can. We justify them, okay? When we should not, right? We should be standing our ground. If we feel like something doesn't feel right, then we need to speak up right then and there. But that's a whole nother thing. You try to stay on task. Excuse me while I enjoy some delicious wine. Um, I know, right? I just gave myself away. Ding, 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 ding. If you see me out in the street with this, shh. Anywho, um, it's Blueberry Stella, by the way. It's my favorite. Anyways, so the reason why I say, well, I want to keep giving a backstory, right? So that you guys can get an idea as to why I'm bringing this up. Okay, so I tended to just look past the verbal abuse and just the toxicity of the relationship, right? I just to have a companion at the end of the day is what I feel like why we tolerate so much. It's like, oh, well, we're used to them, they're familiar, I don't want to start all over, right? All these things, okay? So we stay for as long as we stay, right? Apparently, my max out is 2 years. If I'm not happy and I am not feeling appreciated, valued, 2 year mark, I'm out. Shh, don't tell nobody though. But yes, that I've realized that about myself. Um, because like I said, I want to be completely transparent with you guys. Like, this is the reality of things, right? We all have different ways of coping, different ways that we function, and we are built up of habits, patterns, and those are really important to pay attention to when you're out there looking for a significant other, right? Because someone can tell you all day long, blah, 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 I do this, I do that, and right? But their behavior and their habits will tell you the truth. So you could only hope that what they're saying matches, right, what they're doing. Now, if what they're saying and what they're doing don't match, it's time to go. Or call it out. Say, hey, you said that you did this, this, and this. So why are you doing that? And they're going to be like, what? They might get defensive. That's going to show you some more of their truth, right? Because people tend to be a certain type of way at the beginning, right? But again, that's going off topic again, but I'm just saying, right? So I just tolerated a lot, and I'm not a believer of when someone's at their lowest, right? Like I'm with someone, right? And they're going through the worst times, right? And they're treating me like trash. I will be loyal and stay until they are in a better place in life. Then I'm like, all right, you're good? You're good to stand on your own now? Okay. And I'll finally stand up for myself and say, hey, yeah, I can't keep putting up with this. What the hell? Right? And these are, again, habits I've noticed about myself. So obviously, when I finally decide to take that leap of like, okay, I gotta go, right? I am beating myself up for having waited so long, one, having tolerated so much, two, and to not have stood up for myself, three, right? So I'm beating myself up. And I'm also going through a heartbreak now, right? And I'm not saying right now, I'm just saying, excuse me, regarding what I'm talking about, right? So, ooh, trying not to do that and I still did it anyways. My bad. All those things are going on, right, at the same time. Heartbreak, being disappointed, now lonely. So it's just a mixture of stuff. Okay? And then being upset, like I said, for waiting around, tolerating as much as I did, right? So when I say that it's important for you to forgive yourself, in this instance, right, me, I had to find it in myself to forgive the fact that I allowed someone to treat me this way, right? Because if I'm over here already in the dumps because I'm sad, not depressed, but because I try so hard not to allow myself to go there, because that makes things that much harder, right? So sad, obviously heartbroken, and beating myself up. Como que no va, right? It just doesn't go well together. So you have to dig deep and find strength and inner love, right? To forgive yourself. So the way that I would go about doing it is, Yvette, you're out of there. So you beating up yourself up and not forgiving yourself for allowing this person to hurt you, you're done. You're out. You are making up for lost time, right? Obviously, all those times we can't get back. All that time we wasted, we can't get back, right? So instead of focusing on not forgiving yourself for having stayed that long or whatever, start shifting focus to, you know what, I need to start finding what I love. I need to start investing my time in things that will benefit me, things that make me happy, right? So that's the importance of forgiving self. Now, forgiving the other person. I'm going to tell you why this is also important. Because again, I was talking about it in another video that this, I've heard, is very difficult for people to do. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. Because maybe if I could shed light on it, give a different perspective, then maybe it could make a difference. Fingers crossed. So, me, back to my story of like me forgiving him for what he did, right? I had to forgive because if I didn't, I would carry that anger, resentment into my future, right? So because I'm so upset that this person hurt me the way they did, and now I'm in a new relationship, and there's triggers. You got to be ready for that kind of stuff. So there's triggers, because okay, I'm gonna give you an example. So the person I was with, right? I'm not saying no names. Had the tendency, right, to enjoy to make those around us laugh, right? But I'm sitting there next to him or whatever, and I'm not having a good time. So he chose to focus on everybody else's happiness, but the girl sitting next to him, the girl who is his girlfriend, right? Mind you, I had brought that up, and I would tell him, like, that makes me feel some type of way that you choose to, make somebody else's day, right? Yet you're not realizing that me, the person that you should be investing your energy towards, I'm not happy. You're not giving me that effort, right? And so that was something that was an issue. He never resolved that. He never made an effort. He would throw it back on me and say, well, that's on you. You don't want me to make someone's day, this, that, and the other. And he would state, this is why I'm that way, right? So he never acknowledged or took into consideration the fact that he made me feel some type of way, right? And so now that was that relationship, right? So when I started talking to somebody new, okay, this new individual, we were just getting to know each other, right? And we went on a hike, okay? We went on a hike, and he and I were just hiking, and he was like pretending to take pictures of me, right? And then with the beautiful scenery in the background and all that, right? And then some people started coming, right? And then he started saying, oh, look at this gorgeous girl, and she's such a superstar, and like entertaining them, right? To the point where it triggered me, where I'm like, what is this dude doing right now? No, I can't have this. This is not what I need, right? But later on, I realized that, because in that moment, I didn't know it was a trigger. I was just so upset. Like, why are you causing attention to yourself? Like, ugh, because it reminded me of my ex. So I was just so annoyed. And so when I began to explain this to the new individual, right, he apologized. And he said, that's not what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to cause attention to myself. I was trying to show them or have them admire you and all your natural beauty in nature. And I was like, oh my God, that is so crazy, to where it made me take a step back, like, oh my goodness. So it was me. I just had this trigger, not realizing, right? And so I began to explain it to the new individual, and I told him, well, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to come across as annoyed, but it was something that my ex would do. He loved entertaining others and never cared about how I felt. And so he was like, oh no, I understand. Like, that was not what I wanted to do. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable, right? So I was like, oh, okay, it's fine. Like, I understand your intentions now, right? And so that's just one example, dude. One example that I could think of off the top of my head, because I'll never forget that I was like, oh, damn. That right there should tell you, when you feel a trigger, right, is that you're not done healing. You're not ready to jump into a new relationship, because you still have healing to do from your past relationship, and that's okay. Give yourself time to heal. And yes, get to know people so that you can see what it is that you are kind of still trying to heal from, right? So back to why I need to forgive that individual for myself, right? Okay. Now, fast forward, I meet somebody else, right? Because that specific individual, just things didn't work out, this, that, and the other, right? So I met someone else. And so this individual showed me a whole different world, to where um like as far as respect, as far as and respect is so big. People, please, ladies and gentlemen, my lovelies, please understand how important respect is. Okay? But the thing is that you have to set that. So you as a woman have to set that, and you also need to make it clear to them of setting boundaries. Speak up if they're being too forward, right? And for the fellas, for you to show a woman respect in all aspects is so attractive. Is so attractive, okay? And it could be something as simple as, like, when you guys start talking, right? You're not over there trying to make moves, trying to touch her. Nah, fam. Just chill, talk, really get to know each other before you try to make moves, before you try to throw yourselves into their home or trying to be intimate. Nah, slow down. I get that we all function differently, okay? Again, I am no expert. I am literally just sharing with you my experiences and the things to look out for, right? So, respect is a huge thing. An attentive listener, someone who you talk to them, right? And their response to you is like a paraphrase of what you just said, along with their opinion on what you just said. You understand what I'm saying? Are you hearing me? Speaking knowledge right now. Open your ears, okay? So that is extremely important, okay? Because if I am telling you, hey, the cat is on top of a red house, right? And you tell me, oh yeah, the dog ran by, and it's like, what? I didn't even mention a dog. Why? What? And don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not saying, oh, they need to not have an opinion, right? Not have their outlook on things. No. But it's important for both individuals, right? Both. Both individuals to listen to each other attentively so that you're acknowledging what the other is saying in their every word. It goes a long way, a long way. Now, another thing, okay, how important it is that you, in any situation, are you hearing me? In any situation, if something is bothering you, no matter how small, okay, no matter how small it is or how big it is, when you are talking to someone, you need to let them know, hey, you know what? This certain thing kind of bothered me. But you also have to be very mindful of how you say it. You can't be like, oh no, I don't like that you did that. No, slow down. Take a breather if you're that riled up, right? Just and explain to him, hey, like, I don't mean to bother you, but when we were in this situation, this bothered me. I know you didn't mean to, but I'm just like letting you know, right? So this way, as you're telling the other person, the one receiving this information needs to be gentle with the other, stating, "Oh, I didn't mean for you to feel that way," or you know what I mean? Like, there's just so much. It's too common to where people are dismissive of each other. Like, oh, well, that's on you. You deal with your own feelings, this, that, and the other. And that was something else that I had to deal with my ex, that he would tell me. Like, oh, you feel some type of way about something? Well, you need to go deal with your feelings on your own and then come back to me. That's not okay, you guys. It's not. If someone tells you that, then they shouldn't be part of your life. How are you telling an individual to go deal with their own feelings and then come back when they're good? Now, what the hell? So, like I said, this second new person that I'm mentioning, right, showed me all these things. How important all of these things were of respect and an attentive listener. And like I said, you have to make sure whoever you are talking to, learning, getting to know, understands you in all aspects, right? Someone who learns you, learns your faces, learns your silence, learns your walk, learns your tone. Are you hearing me? This is really, really important, because if someone is showing you that much dedication, right, then they're showing you they are worthy of your time. Now, if someone is not interested in doing any of that and all they want to talk about is themselves, then guess what? They are not for you. They could just go ahead and enjoy themselves by themselves. It's that simple. Okay? So, those are all things to pay attention to when you're getting to know someone, right? So the attentive listener, and like I said earlier, their words matching their actions. If they don't match, it's a red flag. I don't have a red flag. You're just supposed to imagine one right here. So the way that I found how to forgive my ex, right, was because I learned I deserve better. Because I realized if I were to stay mad at him, I would be bitter to someone who doesn't deserve it. I would treat the next person like shit, excuse my language, but I would treat them badly because I'm still holding on to this negative energy, being hate or anger or, not forgiving, into a new beautiful experience. And that isn't fair to you. So you should not do that. No, 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 no. Okay? Excuse me. So this stuff is really important, and that's what I wanted to cover today, the importance of forgiving, right? And it's not just in romantic relationships, right? It's also with friendships. If you feel like you're upset with a friend, right? Something went wrong, you have to find it in yourself to forgive them. You do what you can, you express what you need to. If nothing is done, nothing is acknowledged, then it's time to just let it go, let it go. So, yes, those are the tips that I have for you today. And I hope that it can help just one individual out there. Okay, just one. And I wish you the best, okay? Find inner strength, inner love. So self-love. When I say inner love, that means self-love, right? And courage. Honestly, you definitely need courage to take those steps towards forgiveness. Now, I know that there are certain things that it is way hard to forgive, right? Trust me, I have dealt with a few things that make me cringe at the thought of someone doing, right? That they've done, that they've put me through, basically, right? And I'm just like, I can't allow my heart to carry poison. You carrying that anger, that grudge towards someone is you carrying negativity in your spirit, in your heart. And I somehow, I don't know, probably the Lord blessing me, I can't allow it. It's not for me. it's too heavy. And it changes you, right? Because if and when you come across somebody similar to that, you're like, oof, no. And immediately you cancel that person out, even before getting to know them, right? So you just gotta be careful with that kind of stuff. So I hope this video finds you in good spirits. I know I may not have made you laugh because I'm not funny, remember? I'm not funny. I'm here to take care of your heart. I'm looking out for your heart, your spirit, and to uplift you and give you a sense of hope. Not all hope is lost, so don't feel hopeless, helpless, nada de eso. You gotta be strong. Gotta be strong. And that's how I was raised, to make sure not all that nobody, how is it? Don't let anyone make you crumble. I think that's it. Me confundo because I know it in Spanish and I'm trying to translate it. Lo me hago bolas. So yes. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night whenever you decide to watch this. Because I'm realizing that my videos are probably the ones you guys are going to watch before you go to sleep. So, que tengan buenas noches. Un buen día. Cuídense mucho. And I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.